Hi everyone, my name is Lochlyn Munro and you are on FrConventions. It was a lot of fun. I remember when the idea first got pitched to me from the writers. For my age, I remember a really great television show called Moonlighting that starred Sybil Shepherd and Bruce Willis. So it was before Bruce Willis became a movie star, and the really fun banter that they had. They were private eyes and they worked together, but you could tell that there was this sort of sexual tension between them, and that you knew that those two people had to be together, but something was keeping them apart. And so with Shannen, we really tried to play into the flirtatiousness and just, having the audience go, come on, get together already. So I really enjoyed it. I thought the writers wrote a lot of really fun scenes with the two of us, and Shannen was really lovely to work with. Yeah, we had a great time. I really wanted that, honestly. I really was having such a fun time on the show, and so when they said that Jack was quitting the auction house, or is that what I did? Did I quit, or did I think something like that. I didn't own it, so I didn't sell it, but somehow our lives went like this, and it would have been fun to stay around and explore where that could have gone, but as an actor, you just move on and go get another job and create another character, Yeah, it's, I was on Charmed in the year 2000. I started shooting in 1999, and my first episode came out, I think, maybe even in 1999, but it was really close to around there. And to think that to this day there's just and every generation becomes a new fan, kind of like when I shot the TV series Riverdale. It was like all of the parents were people that the parents of the new generation of fans for Riverdale came, and so then all of a sudden those young people became our fans as well. And that's what I'm finding with Charmed. It's like a person will fall in love with it, she gets a little older, or he, and then they have children, and then their children start watching it, and maybe their children will start watching it. It may be a show that lasts for 40 years, who knows, but it was really dear to my heart playing Jack Sheridan. It was really a lot of fun. It's nice when the fan base tells me how much they enjoyed that relationship with Prue and Jack. I never knew the transition that Hal Cooper had to becoming the Black Hood, and yeah, it was a surprise to me too, because the writers kept us in the dark as to who the Black Hood was. And as a cast, we always thought it was Sheriff Keller. And then somewhere around the Carrie musical, when Midge was hung on the wall, when she was killed, then all of a sudden Betty and the kids started questioning me a little bit more about, so where were you last night, Dad? And where were you? And I was like, what the heck is going on? And then I'm like, oh, I think I might be the Black Hood. And lo and behold, my Cooper family movie night, I let my family know what I was up to. Our kid was brainwashed. Hal Cooper was brainwashed as a 9-year-old. That's all that happened. Once it was revealed that I was a Black Hood, and then we most of our scenes after that, of course, were while I was in prison. So very much, Silence of the Lambs set up. But I thought it was more interesting. Now Betty and Hal had something in common, and I think Hal really loved that his daughter would come and ask him questions about her darkness and or sort of what she was feeling about things. So I actually, quite to tell you the truth, as an actor, I enjoyed playing the Black Hood in all that prison stuff way more than I enjoyed playing Hal Cooper. It was just much more interesting. Yeah, I didn't. Playing Hal Cooper after revealing the Black Hood, it didn't feel like difficult or like weird emotional. I felt more excited about building layers for a character and giving it. Now I have a character with backstory. There really wasn't much dimension to Hal Cooper when I first started playing him. I mean, he always kind of like felt to me like he was just always berated by Alice all the time, and I was like, I don't know why, like what. And then then as the story folds, you kind of understand where he is and what he's coming from. Well, you know what I mean. Mädchen's just such a she's a really good actor, and she pays attention to detail, and she's just easy to work with because she's just always good, so I just find that Mädchen just makes me look good because she's good. So that was easy. No, but I mean we discussed kind of like how our relationship changed after that night, and I didn't have a lot of interaction with Alice after that, right? Once I was in prison, it was always just Betty. And so and then of course I broke out of prison, and that didn't go well. I thought I was breaking out of prison to redeem myself. And then as soon as I saw that I had a hook and I was going down the lockers and I was, banging and chasing Betty, I'm like, this isn't going to end well. I was like, I think I might need to look for another job. Right away, right from the very first table read of the pilot episode, I remember we were at a big round table and we were reading, and I was listening to the kids do their work, and I was really impressed at how solid they all were. I mean, the only person that I'd ever seen a bit of their work was Cole, but that was the Sweet Life on deck, so I was like, wow, this is a lot different tone than that. But I was really surprised at how good the kids were, enough that I remember looking over at Luke when we turned the page of when it says, and Jason Blossom's body washed up on shore with a bullet hole in the head, and then it ended. And I remember closing my script. I looked up at Luke, and I was like, and he was like, and we knew that we had something special. And the kids on the show, the kids were all good actors. There wasn't one weak link in the kids as actors at all. So I'm not surprised that they've all had success. She's just, they're all pros and they're all interesting, and it's great to see that. I mean, that's sort of the evolution of how it was for all of us, getting a break and then getting an opportunity again and then another opportunity and just building your career, And listen, as long as you're kind to people and, respect people on the way up, it's like people will bend backwards to help you achieve your dream. So I just, that's the only thing I hope. I hope they all just keep it together and keep it grounded. Remember that it's only movie making, and to just, you know, be humble and be so grateful that you get to create stories for a living. It's like I've been almost 40 years now, and every time I get a job, I'm still really grateful that people want me to help them tell their story. It's a total privilege. So I just hope they remember that. You know, it's as you know, as they gain more and more fame. But I've never doubted that they would be successful.